बिल्कुल
very good morning to all of you. Good morning, respected colleagues and other members present here. On the behalf of Sanskar International School, I am going to represent a topic lesson plan as per CBSE norms, which we have to complete in-house training sessions. So, before coming to the main content of lesson plan, just I'm starting this topic as a conversation. The first question goes to my dear colleagues. Is there anyone who can tell me why do we need to have rules? Or the other question this is for you. Why does any school have rules which we as well as our students follow? Do you have any answer? Vishnu can answer? Can you give the answer? Do we need to have rules? Do we need to have rules?
Yes.
Why?
Obviously.
Why do we need to have rules? Yes.
To regulate any management, we have to rules, because if I don't follow a rule, I don't a part of system.
Okay, that's good. Everyone has its own point of view. Someone says that we need to have rules so that we can do our work in a arrangement, in a proper manner. A school need to have rules. In other words, we can also term rule as a plan. A school also have a plan, so that there can be a systematic way. There can be a pedagogy in a systematic way, so that a student can come on time. Teachers can come on time, right? Teachers will take classes on their time, right? So suppose that if we don't have rules, what will be there? Will we be able to run a school?
No.
Or is it possible for any director to run his or her school? No, it's not possible. In one way or other, we all have rules. In other words, we can also say that we all have plans. That's what I am trying to say. Means, even to run a business, we need to have a plan. So we the teachers, why can't we have a plan? We must have a plan.
Yeah,
So that we can impart knowledge to the students in a specific manner, in a better way. Suppose that if without having any plan, means you are going to session has started just right now, few days ago. Teachers are going in the class, taking randomly classes. Students have no idea which chapter teacher will teach. Even the teachers don't have ideas what I am going to teach, what I am about to teach to the students. Then is it possible to impart proper knowledge to the students? Teaching is not only imparting knowledge to one person to another person. It's all about showcasing your other skills to the future of the world. Children are the future of our world, of our country. So if we want to impart our knowledge so that they can have better future, so that our upcoming generations have better world, we must have a better planning. Without planning, it's not possible to give or to impart proper knowledge. So the first question is that, what is lesson plan? Basically, lesson plan is a blueprint. Of which blueprint? Just it's a blueprint of when a teacher enters into a classroom, what he has to teach, in which way he has to teach, and what study materials that very teacher needs to have, what resources that very teacher must need to have. These are the only basic things by which we can have a proper way of teaching. a proper way of imparting knowledge. Without having proper plan, without having proper resources, it's not possible. As I think, I'm not saying whatever I'm saying. These are not the statements of any philosophers or any scholars. These all are my own experience. Whatever I have experienced in those years as a teacher, that's what I'm saying to you. Suppose that I'm going to tell you a story. It's very simple. It's not a story. In fact, it's not a story. It's a real life incident which I have realized, which I have seen. And as I think, in almost many family, many parents are there, not family, many parents are there who face this type of problems. Just listen to the story, and after completion of the story, there will be a few questions. Not a few questions, only 2 questions will be over there, which you have to give the answer. A few days ago, not few days ago, 3 to 4 months ago, I visited at a student's residence after having conversation with his parents. His parents came to the point that my ward is not scoring well in any subject, maybe math, science. So, on that very sentence, we had a lot of discussion. Maybe teachers are not imparting knowledge in their proper way. Maybe wherever he takes classes apart from schools, maybe tuition classes, maybe coaching classes, teachers are not imparting knowledge, or maybe students are curious. But after having conversation, I asked the students, tell me, which chapter is right now you are being taught in your school? In maths. He simply told me that, sir, maths teacher is teaching coordinate geometry right now. Then I asked, for how many days that very chapter is going on? He told me that, sir, it has been almost 2 weeks. In fact, he was in 10th standard. Then, okay, fine. And how many chapters are left? He told me that, sir, almost 4 to 5 chapters are left. And which questions will be asked from those chapters from in the final examinations. Right? When his final examination was years, right? Only 1 week was left in his final examination to be started. I again visited at his residence for some purposes. I inquired about his classes in his school. He told me there, so coordinate geometry classes was taken almost 1 month. And in the remaining 2 months, what did the teacher do? He completed almost 5 chapters. Then I asked him, how is that possible? Are you lying? He said, no. No, sir, I am not lying. It's a true. You can inquire about this. Then he went on further explaining about this. He said, sir, in fact, first of all, he took almost 1 month to complete the first chapter, coordinate geometry, which was included in the final term. And then, after that, he started the next chapter, circle. In fact, almost 5 exercises are there, and in those 5 exercises, more than 200 questions are there. And so you won't believe, in every exercise, he did not explain more than 4 to 5 questions. And by this way, he completed that very vast chapter within 10 days. And in the next 1 week, he completed another chapter in the same way. And in the same way, with the same speed, he completed 5 chapters in 2 months. So, what did we observe? What was the mistake of that great teacher? He took almost 1 month to Could you tell me what do you observe from the story? Anyone of you?
There was no proper plan.
They have no proper plan. How to teach students.
Means teacher did not have proper plan.
टीचर को क्लास
First of all, yes ma'am.
टीचर को क्लास में एंट्री करने से पहले जो टॉपिक पढ़ना है पहले उसका एक लेसन प्लान यानी इसको किस तरह से प्रेजेंट करना अगर वो किसी तरह का कोई लेसन प्लान नहीं बनाए तो उनका प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा नहीं जाएगा ना बच्चे उस तरह से इफेक्ट बच्चे उस चीज़ को प्रॉपर ढंग से नहीं समझते
That's absolutely right. The problem was with the teachers, not with the students. And the problem was teacher did not have proper planning. What to teach? How much time do we need to take? How much classes do I need to take to complete the chapter? He did not have any planning. And the result was all impossible. Who got affected? Not teachers, only students. And believe me, as I think, such teachers are responsible for the deteriorating lifestyle and deteriorating educational skills, knowledge of the students. How? The reasons are here. The reason is that, let's take the example of that very student. What will happen with that student? He could not achieve good marks in the academic examination. He tried his best. In the meantime, the teacher completed his challenge. He had done his duty. Now, the responsibility left to the student. Whatever time was left with the students to do the revision work, the teacher asked all the students to complete the fear notebook and submit within the time frame so that teacher could check it. So, what will the student do? Will they revise the chapters which have been taught to them, or will they complete the fear notebook? Obviously, they are compelled to do fear notebook. So instead of revising the chapters, what will they do? They will complete the fear notebook. And in such way, if the students kept on scoring poor marks even doing hard work, they will deviate from their right path. I mean, they will not be interested in the further education. For the next time, what will such students do? Whenever the teacher will give them the homework, they will just copy the answers from Google, complete their duties, and submit to the teachers. In this way, will they get the proper knowledge? Obviously, the students' education will get badly affected. Obviously, will get badly affected. And who is responsible for such things? Obviously, teachers. Right? Means, if a teacher does not have proper lesson planning, if a teacher does not have proper idea what to teach, how much classes do we need to take, means all the things will get destroyed. Even the career of that very student may get destroyed. Right? So the question is that what is lesson plan? So lesson plan is basically a blueprint of what you are going to teach, what skills you require, how will you manage the classes, how will you engage the students, and in which way and what resources you are going to use in the classroom while teaching. Next thing is that regarding the lesson plan, what should be the first step while preparing a lesson plan? Suppose that if any teacher wants to prepare, any teacher wants to prepare a lesson plan, what should be the ways, what should be the effective ways and what should we think? As I think, before giving homework to the teachers, first of all, we need to do ours first. We, being the teachers, we need to do our homework first before giving homework to the students. So, the first step towards making the lesson plan. As I think, suppose that in the starting of the session, you are going to take any classes, any subject, either math, science, SST, Hindi, Sanskrit, any subject. First of all, decide the things, which chapter you are going to teach to the students. And first of all, if you have decided which chapter you are going to teach to the students, first of all, go through the chapters. First of all, teachers must go through the chapters. They should read the chapters thoroughly. And after reading the chapters, what should they do? They should point it out to the things. Next, they should make a note. Teachers should make a note. What notes? Means after going through the chapter, they should make a note that how can we, suppose that if a chapter is boring, sometimes the students feel that this chapter is boring, not interesting, like this, etc., etc. Then teachers' responsibility should be there. That how can they engage the students so that they don't feel bored. Right? So first of all, after going through the chapter, you should have make a note that in which way you can make the students engage in your class so that there can be interactive sessions. There can be engaging sessions. So that sometimes even I have experienced such things and I have also seen such things in classrooms. Whenever classes are not conducted in a proper manner, whenever the class teacher who is taking the class is not in an engaging manner, then obviously the students get bored. And the maximum students who are sitting behind in the classroom or in nowadays in a slang language we can say that backbenchers, right? So what do they do? They will start throwing, they will pick up the papers, fold it up and start throwing to one another. Sometimes they will start throwing paint or paint's cap. Obviously, they will try to entertain themselves. And what do? They think only one thing. God, anyhow. When will the period be over? Just they want to engage themselves in such a way that so that period will over, they will get rid of such classes. So if you have gone through the chapter, first of all, what you need to do? You need to make an you must have ideas or you must prepare a plan that in which way we can have a engaging classroom. Without having engaging classroom, we cannot have a proper or successful classes. And in other words, we can also say that we cannot impart our knowledge in a proper way because the students will not be attending. If the students are not attentive, will you be able to impart your knowledge? No. So, imparting knowledge is only not important. Apart from imparting knowledge, you must have other skills. Other skills means a skill in which by which you can engage the students in the classroom. A skill by which you can have interacting sessions with the students. Interacting sessions. Obviously. So, these are the things which we keep in mind while preparing the lesson plan. The first step of preparing a lesson plan, right? Next thing is that about the preparing lesson plan, we should indicate and we should outline the most vital in most of the books in lower classes. In the exercises, some activities work are given based on the chapter. I hope you all have seen such things and you all have given homework of that activities to your students. Right? So after going through the chapter, read the activity and see and just introspect yourself whether this activity is possible this activity is possible to do in the class without giving knowledge of the chapter. If that is possible, so give that activity as a responsibility to the students. And if you give that activity to the responsibility to the students, students will sense what you are going to teach. And such things can be done in SST subject, in Hindi, science. Sometimes in also such activity can be done in also math subject. Right? If you start your classes in such way, by giving some responsibilities, by giving activities to the students to do, obviously students will interact with you. Students will listen to you. Whatever you will say, whatever you will instruct, they will follow. So we need to have an interactive lesson system and engaging classes, right? So that we can showcase our knowledge, we can impart our knowledge in a proper way. Next thing in the lesson plan is that now you have your rough draft of the lesson plan. Now if you have your rough draft of your lesson plan, so you must be ready to take classes in that way. Suppose that without having rough draft of your plan, is it possible to take classes in a proper way? Just I am giving you an example. Suppose that if any businessman starts to manufacture any goods. So before manufacturing any goods, what do they do? Obviously, they prepare a road. They have a plan. They prepare a plan. Means first of all, for which section of our society I am going to manufacture the goods. The first thing. Second, what he do? The second thing that he does is that how much capital is required. Because suppose that we are going to manufacture things. First of all, what we need to do? For which section of our society we are going to manufacture the things. Next, how much capital is required to manufacture such things? Right? Suppose that we are going to manufacture goods for lower class, upper middle class, or higher class, or aristocratic. Means which section of our society I am going to target, and accordingly, after that they think about how much capital is required. Then what they think? The machineries. Then the place, establish the factories. Such are the things, such are the plans they have, and accordingly they act. Any businessman accordingly acts. So in the same way, we teachers, after having lesson plan, after preparing lesson plan, we have to act accordingly. Right? And as I think, lesson plan must be provided as soon as the session starts. The reason is behind. Not reason. Many reasons are behind this. Skip it. Many reasons are there. For example, suppose that without having lesson plan, without giving lesson plan to the students, teacher started teaching any chapter of any subject. Suppose that a teacher starts teaching rational number in the subject maths, right? After teaching rational number, students are confused. Which chapter sir teach? And in fact, teacher does not have lesson plan. Whenever the students will ask, so which chapter will you teach after this chapter? Means after rational number, which chapter you are going to teach? You know what will be the reply from the teacher? Okay, let's see. I will tell you about this later. Yeah, these are the common things. The reason behind this is that teacher does not have a lesson plan. He does not have any proper plan. And obviously, I have seen such things. Whenever I interact with the students, and recently I interacted with the students. Few students are there. I asked him which chapter is going on in your school. So right now that's not what is going on. So when is your first exam? So maybe before summer vacation or after summer vacation. So how many chapters are there in your lesson? So I don't have any idea. What? So whenever I ask for the teacher, he says, I will tell you later. What does it mean? I will tell you later. I'm not a teacher. If you are a teacher, you must have a plan. Nowadays, to be a professional teacher, you must have a plan. What? If you doesn't have a plan, then you are a teacher, but only for namesake. You are a teacher. Obviously, you are a teacher, but only for namesake. Means, if you are a professional teacher, you must have plans. Right? So that you as well as your students both will have ideas, will have plans, and accordingly, your mindset will be, and your mindset will act accordingly. And even the students will have ideas. No, which chapter I have to study. Sometimes many students are there in the class. Whenever a chapter starts, after giving basic knowledge and 2 to 3 examples, most of the students are there in the class who complete chapters within 2 days. Before teacher completes any chapter, before that the students complete it. By doing homework at the home, by doing extra work at the homes. And after that, what do the students do? If teacher has given them a lesson plan, that very student will move to the next chapter. That very students will move to the next exercise. Right? So we must have a lesson plan in order to have proper idea, in order to have proper ways by which we can engage students, we can impart our knowledge, and as well as we can showcase our skills, other skills to the students. Next, regarding lesson plan, I am going to tell you that next thing is that the purpose of lesson plan. What should be the purpose of lesson plan? Suppose that if anyone does anything, obviously there are some purpose behind doing such things. Here we are having in-house training sessions. Do we have purpose? Do we have purpose or not? Yes. Obviously we have purpose. We have come here after traveling more than 30 kilometers because of our purpose. Without having purpose, could we have it here? No. So, for preparing a lesson plan, there are purposes. Not only one purpose. Okay. So, next step to attain purpose of lesson. Purpose of lesson plan means used as a guide for the graduate. Means if we have a proper, we the teachers, if we have the proper lesson plan, we have a proper guideline. Means from where should we start, and after starting, in which way we should start the class so that it can be engaging, right? So that students can pay attention towards to the teacher. Students can listen their teachers. Students can follow their teachers. So it must be and right. It means a guidelines. It's also a guidelines, a complete a set of guidelines. Just lesson plan, first of all, is a complete set of guidelines for the teachers, by which they have ideas. Sometimes nowadays we are in 21st century, right? Since we are 21st century and we are using information technology widely, and obviously in developed countries, not in developed countries, even in our countries, if you go in the other states, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Maharashtra, Bengaluru, you will find that artificial intelligence has started taking classes of the students instead of teachers. Have you ever read some such news? Obviously, artificial intelligence, I mean robotic teachers. So, whenever we teachers prepare that, we must include the digital concept. Means in which way we can show or we can represent or we can give the or we can impart the knowledge to the students in a digital way. Suppose that by telling stories, by showing, suppose that we are teaching coordinate geometry. Sometimes it's quite impossible to show, or sometimes many students are there who doesn't get whatever teacher teaches on the whiteboard. Sometimes they become confused about coordinate planes. So if we have digital engagement, if we are using smart classes, we can show them clearly what is coordinate by using animation, right? By using PPT, PowerPoint presentation, right? We can tell them how does it work. Suppose that sometimes whenever we say that a conical shape is placed on a hemisphere, students don't get it. What does it mean? They don't have visualization. They don't have imagination. What the teacher is saying. What does it mean? A conical shape is placed on a hemisphere. Obviously, it's very tough to the students, those who are average in their studies, those who are, I can't say slow-minded, but mainly they are poor in their studies. It's very complicated to make them understand what does it mean. In such case, if we have digital resources, we can show them what does it mean. We can show them in 3D, in a picture, as an animation movie. Means what does such figure mean? So, while making lesson plan, we must have a guidelines. It gives a guidelines, and guidelines in the sense we can also say that so that we can engage them to learn the students digitally, so that they can understand such things in a better way. Next thing and next step, what the purpose of having lesson. Next thing regarding purpose of lesson plan is that suppose that if it provides records, what records? Which type of record? It provides records that if sometimes we are teaching such things, sometimes how much classes do we need to have to take to complete the theoretical section? 2 classes, 3 classes. Means we will have target. we have to complete the theoretical session. After 3 classes, I mean from the 4th classes, I have to start giving the examples based on the theories. Right? So it means it gives a record, and sometimes when we don't have record, obviously it's a natural phenomenon of human beings that we forget things. We forget things. If we don't have records, we will forget what I have to do the next. And if you deviate from the right path, if you are unable to deliver your lecture according to your lesson plan, obviously students will get confused. So I can say that a proper lesson plan gives a record, and we the teachers can act according to the records. Means we the teachers can take relevant lectures according to the records. Right? Sometimes when we forget what I have to teach the next one. Right? So in that case, it's very beneficial for the students. Now, next thing is that what is the purpose of lesson plan and what are the benefits of the lesson plans to whom? To the learners. All those things which I told you right now about the purpose of lesson plan for the teachers. Now, if we talk about what should be the purpose of lesson plan for the students, do you have any ideas? What should it be? Shift answer. If we have a lesson plan, so what will be the purpose for the students? I mean, for the learners. Can you tell me anything? Of course, sir, you can.
Learners will know beforehand what will be taught to them.
Okay.
Next few days.
Means, so is also right. Means, purpose for the students. Purpose for the students. If you take classes in arranged and proper way, right? The students will appreciate your work. Which one? The work you do as a teacher. Right? The students will say that no, this teacher, this particular teacher has a specific way of taking classes. And sometimes when the students will be with their friends, apart from studying time, they will discuss with their students, with their friends, that no, the pedagogy, the way of teaching, the way of explaining, and the way of providing lecture of that very teacher is very unique. And obviously, you want to believe you can be a very good teacher for all the students, and they will obviously never will try to miss your lecture, and obviously they will enjoy your classes. That's all. So the first purpose for the learner is that. Second purpose for the learner of having lesson plan is that means they can easily assimilate, they can easily assign the things, and they can easily arrange, and they can easily make their notes, so that during the examination they don't get confused. They can easily assimilate things, means they can have ideas. Suppose that if you are taking a lecture in a proper and arranged way, right, and after taking lecture, the students have to find answer to any question. They will have ideas. Where can be the answer to this question? Students will have a proper idea. Where can I find the answer to this question? And if you are not taking classes in a proper way, right, students will get confused. After taking classes, and when they will start making exercises, they will start solving questions. They will come to you. So I am not finding answer to this question. They will come They will stay for time, some time. They will ask you, so please explain it to me. I'm not finding answer to this question. So it means if we teachers have a lesson plan, so it gives us relate things to the students. If you take classes accordingly as per your plan, the students will have ideas where can I get the answer from of any questions, and in which context, in which topic of any chapter I can get the answer of such questions. So students will not get confused, and obviously teacher will also get interaction. Means they will not have engaging session apart from classes. So these are the benefits of having a lesson plan. Means what we can say that the purpose of having a lesson. Next thing is that can we have a good lesson plan? If anyone says what does a good lesson plan mean, then what will be your answer? If anyone says what does a good lesson plan mean, then what will be your answer? Lesson plan is lesson plan. Then what is this system? Good lesson plan. What is this system? This is the thing. Lesson plan and good lesson plan. Obviously, lots of teachers are there who are engaged in teaching professions, but few teachers are there who get neglected by their students. Not only from the students, even from their parents also, the society also. Reason behind this is that they have a good lesson plan. So, what are the things we can include in a good lesson plan? From my ladies colleagues, is there anyone who can tell me what should be the basic things in a good lesson plan? Any one of you? If you have any idea, please share with us.
अच्छा लेसन प्लान बनाने के लिए क्या क्या करना होगा, उसमें क्या कंटेंट डालना होगा?
What should be in a good lesson plan? Lesson plan is fine, but good lesson plan is a different thing. In which way you can say that good lesson plan is a different thing? From last page, you ma'am.
Good lesson.
Any ideas?
सर जो टीचिंग एड्स होते हैं जैसे कि ब्लैक बोर्ड और बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट यूज होते हैं, अलग अलग मैथड यूज होते हैं पढ़ाने के लिए.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, but I don't think that teaching tools is
Resources is not.
needed in good lesson plan.
Lesson plan is different thing. Resources is different thing. Lesson plan.
Somehow resources are also included in the lesson plan, but right now if we talk about good lesson plan, give the resources aside.
Good lesson.
Just tell me the way by which you can conduct classes accordingly in a better way, so that you can impart your knowledge to the students with your extra other activities. So what should be the good lesson plan? What things you should keep in mind while preparing a good lesson plan?
Within a
Okay.
period, within a
Here we all are teachers. Have you observed that? And I hope you all have observed. In a class, suppose that if 40 to 45 students are there, the students have different background. Not only different background, different mindset, different level of understanding. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Obviously, they have different background, different level of understanding, and different what? Different skills. Some students are very talented, and while some students are there who don't even get the silly things which we teach explain. Maybe the base are very big. Maybe such students are very poor from their starting when they started education, or maybe they don't get proper guidance from the teachers since their childhood. So keeping such things in mind, keeping the abilities in the mind, we need to think that no, we have to make a lesson plan according to the abilities of the students. In a class, the students are of different abilities. Their level of understanding are different. So we must make plan according to the abilities of the students. In most of the classes, what the teachers do? They just go on explaining things, explain the theory, then give some examples to the students, and only few students are there who always give replies to the students, and many students are there who never gives any replies, who never solve any questions, and somehow they are not able to solve any questions. Even they don't get what the teacher is saying. They always remain mum in the classroom. Have you seen anything? And I hope you have observed such things. So we have to make a lesson plan according to the abilities of the students, keeping in mind that what should be the way of starting the class so that all the students can grasp the way of my teaching, can grasp the way of my imparting knowledge, so that not even a single student is left behind.
लेसन प्लान तैयार किया जाता है बच्चों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, क्योंकि हर एक बच्चे का जो माइंड है वो अलग है, उनकी एबिलिटी अलग है.
That's absolutely right, man. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
टीचर जो भी लेसन प्लान तैयार करते हैं उनको सभी बच्चों को ध्यान में रखते हुए बनाना पड़ता है कि मेरा जो भी मेथड होगा पढ़ाने का वो हर बच्चे के समझ में आ जाना चाहिए, ना कि आप एक बच्चे को लेकर चलेंगे. जितने भी वीक स्टूडेंट है या आपके पढ़ने में अच्छे स्टूडेंट है, आपको कुछ मेथड ऐसा लेना होगा जिसके थ्रू आप सभी बच्चे को वो चीज़ अच्छे से समझा सकें, एक्सप्लेन कर सकें, या आप उसको किसी एक्टिविटी के थ्रू एक्सप्लेन कीजिए, या आप किसी स्टोरी के थ्रू किसी भी तरह से आप प्रेजेंट इस तरह से कीजिए कि बच्चे को वो चीज़ समझ में आए.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Means we should make a plan according to the interest of the students, according to the abilities of the students. As I am told us right now that in a class, the students are there from different backgrounds with having different abilities, different level of understanding. So we should make a plan according to the level of understanding of the students, so that not even a single student is left behind. Right? So this was the first thing behind for the purpose of having good plan lesson plan. So what should be the next thing? And what should be the next thing which we should include in a good lesson plan? Chandrakant sir, what do you say? What should be the next thing? As per your point of view, what should be the next thing which we should include in our good lesson plan? I am not saying lesson plan, in a good lesson plan.
Regular test will be conducted.
Regular test will be conducted. Should be conducted. Okay. Regular Chandrakant is saying that regular test should be conducted. So what will you observe from taking regular test?
उसमें यह पता चलेगा कि कौन बच्चे कितना सीख पा रहे हैं. टेस्ट के माध्यम से पता चल पाएगा कि बच्चे.
That's also right.
Feedback.
That's also right. If we take a regular test after completion of a test.
ये भी हो सकता है कि ग्रुप में उनको कोई टॉपिक दिया जाए करने के लिए ताकि वो सोचना.
That's right.
जितना सोचेंगे उतना उन्हें.
Means if we take a regular test, after taking regular test, we can assess the knowledge of the students. We can assess the ability of the students. Right? We can assess the ability of the students, and we can find out how many students are there in the class who are lagging behind. Right? We can easily find out that. How many students are in the class who are lagging behind? And if such students are there in the class, we can bring them forward. We can bring them forward with those students who are more talented than those students. Right? We can give them backup classes. We can make them understand in the later classes, so that no one is left behind. Obviously, second thing, as I think, is that the third point behind having a good lesson plan. Sometimes teacher's interest and understanding also matters. Have you observed this? Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself and think for just a moment. Teacher's ability and interest and teacher's strength is also a most important factor having a good lesson plan. Obviously, as I think no any human being on this earth is that who are completely or 100% perfect. No one is there. No one is there who is completely perfect. Even in each and every person, there is some lacking. We the teachers are also human beings. We also have some lacking. Maybe some teachers are there who are in the early stage in their career, who are in the early stage in their profession. So in that way, we should keep in mind while preparing the lesson plan of our student, of our university. Right? Suppose that if we don't have proper knowledge and if we don't have proper ideas in which way we should take classes, so make the lesson plan accordingly. So that meanwhile, if you take class, if you will take 1 week to complete one chapter, meanwhile you will have enough time to go through the chapters. You will have enough time to have your knowledge accordingly to impart to the students. So from here I would like to conclude my words. Thank you very much for all the colleagues to have present.